In today's class, we are going to focus on graph traversal algorithms. And in tree traversal, we have seen that we have different methods of traversing a tree, like in order, pre-order, and then post-order. Similar to that, in graphs also, we have different traversal algorithms, where you will be starting with a particular node, and you will be searching all the nodes that are reachable from this particular node. So now let us see what we are going to do in this graph traversal. We will start from a given node. In case of trees, always we will start from the root node, then we will start our search. But here we are not going to start from the root node because we don't have any root node in the graph. We'll be starting from a given node and we will search for all the nodes that are reachable from the given node in some order. And for following this search, we have two different traversal algorithms. They are also known as search algorithms. One is known as BFS, breadth first search, and the another is DFS, depth first search. And during the search, we will keep track of some information for all the nodes. The information includes whether a node is visited or not. So what is the meaning of visited is you have started a node and you have visited the node and you got the node and you have printed it. And another is called as explode. Explode is nothing but you have a given node. For that node, you are going to check whether the neighbors of that node have been visited or not. That is called as explode. So visited is whether you have visited a particular node or not, and explode is going to tell you whether you have explored all the neighbors of that particular node or not. So these two informations we have to keep track when we do the searching. So to implement that, we have some data structure. Let us see how to continue with that. So first, you have to check whether a node is visited or not. In order to keep track of that, we are going to maintain an array called visited. When we start our program, we will be keeping that array as all 0. The size of the array will be equal to number of vertices in the graph. So select an array like that. After that, when you start your program, you will not visit any of the vertices. So all are unvisited. Therefore, make all the entries of that array to 0. Initialize with 0. Then you are going to start the exploration of the process. So for that, next you have to find out whether a node is explored or not. For that, we are going to maintain some information with the help of either the stack or otherwise queue. Okay, so if you go for the BFS algorithm, you will be using the queue. If you go for DFS algorithm, you will use stack. So now to keep track of whether a node is visited or not, you're going to maintain an array which is going to be initialized with 0. Whenever you visit a node, you will make that entry as 1, meaning that the node is visited. Then to keep track of whether a node is explored or not, we will use either stack or queue, depending upon our algorithm. Now let us go and see how these algorithms will work. If you consider BFS, breadth-wise, you are going to do the searching. That is similar to our level order traversal in a tree. In tree, we have seen that we have level order traversal also, where we will start with the root node, which is at level 0. We will finish it, then we will move on to the next level. So the BFS algorithm is going to work similar to level order traversal. So it is going to search for the nodes in the breadth-wise. So first, I'll be starting from a given node. Here, this node A is the node from where you are going to start your search. I can give any node as a starting node. So even I can give you that B is a starting node. You can start with any node. Let me assume that I am starting with the node A. So first what I will do, I will finish this node A. I will visit it. It will be printed in the output. After that, I have to go and search the neighbors of the A. So neighbors of the A will be in the next level. Okay, that is nothing but they will be connected to this A by means of one link. They are called as neighbors. So I'll go to the neighbors of A, then I will visit all the neighbors of A. Whichever is directly reachable from A, I will visit all the neighbors of A. Here, according to this particular diagram, from A, I can directly visit B, C, and D. So next, I will visit these 3 nodes. So first A will be printed in my output, then I will print B, C, and D, but in any order. These 3 can be printed in any order. It depends upon how you are searching them. After I print the direct neighbors of A, then I can go and print the neighbors of these neighbors. Not the neighbors of A, neighbors of the neighbors of A. That is nothing but the nodes which are reachable by using 2 links. Okay, so now in that, I have the nodes E, F, and G. So I will be printing them. After that, I will go to the next level. That is nothing but the neighbor of neighbor of neighbor of A. So those nodes will be printed. You will follow this search until you check all the nodes. Once you explore all the nodes, then you will stop your process. So this is called as BFS, where you're going to search the nodes in the breadthwise. Whereas if you consider the DFS, in case of DFS, you are going to search for the nodes depthwise. So what is the meaning of this one is, first I'll be starting with the source node. Then from the source node, I'll take any one of the neighbors of the source node. So there are three neighbors for the source node. They are B, C, and D. I'll take any one of the neighbor. I'll try to visit that particular neighbor. Okay, so now what I'm doing, first I'm starting with A. I'm printing it. Once I finish printing it, I'm not going to explore all the neighbors of A. In the previous case, what we have done, we have explored all the neighbors of A, then only we went to the next level. But here we will not do that. You will take one of the neighbor which is unvisited. Okay, then you will try to print that neighbor. Then you will stop exploring this particular node A. You will go and explore this neighbor B. Okay, so first we are starting with node A. Then we are printing it on the output. After that, we will select one of the neighbors of node A, which is not visited so far. Then we will try to start the search from that neighbor. So we will print this neighbor B. Then after printing B, we will select one of the neighbors of B. So that is nothing but here I have neighbor E and A, but here E is not visited. So I will visit it. After visiting E, I'll go to the neighbor of E that is not visited. So in this, I have H that will be visited now. So I have started with A, then I went to B, then E, and then H. So I have gone in the depthwise. So this is how the DFS is going to work. In case of BFS, we'll be printing the nodes breadthwise, whereas in case of DFS, we will be printing the node depthwise. In today's class, we will focus on the depth first search algorithm. So in case of DFS, we are going to search the graph in a deeper direction. You're not going to do in a breadth level, you're going in a deeper way. Then to do this search, you will be starting with the source node. With respect to the source node only, you're going to initiate your searching process. So first, the source node B will be selected as a current node and you will mark the node as visited. And then once you visit this source node, you are going to do the exploration process, but not with respect to the source node. Exploration in the sense, you are checking for all the neighbors of source node. Okay, now I'm going to stop that exploration with respect to the source node. Okay, the exploration of the current node is postponed. What I will do instead, I will check any one of the unvisited vertex adjacent to the current node. Then I will visit that. Then with respect to that node, I'll do the same process again. Okay, and you will do this process until all the vertices have been visited. Now, let us see the actual implementation. This is how we are going to proceed with the algorithm. We will see the pseudocode now, then we will see the exact program. So in case of DFS algorithm, first we are going to select the current source node. Let us assume that it is V. It will be selected as a starting vertex. So what we are going to do is, first we are going to push this vertex onto the stack, because we have already seen that if you want to implement DFS, you will be going for stack, because we need to keep track of whichever nodes are explored completely. So to keep track of the explored node, we are going to use stacks in case of DFS. So first you select the source node as a starting node and push it onto the stack, then display it in your output, then mark it as visited. After that, you are going to check your stack. While the stack is not empty, you are going to do some process. So what you are going to do in that is, you select the vertex V, which is on the top of the stack. And for that vertex, you have to do the following steps. First, you have to check whether there exists an adjacent vertex. So how to check it? So we have already seen that we have adjacency matrix and then adjacency list, where we will keep track of the nodes which are adjacent to a particular node. So you can implement this either by using adjacency matrix or by using adjacency list. Let me assume that I am going to check the adjacent vertex. And if there exists an adjacent vertex, then you have to check whether that vertex has been already visited or not. What is the meaning of visited? It is already printed in the output. So if the adjacent vertex is not visited, then only you have to continue. If it is already visited, no need to continue with that. If the adjacent vertex is not visited, then you push the adjacent vertex on the stack. After you push it, display it in the output, then mark it as visited. else. So what is the meaning of this else? The adjacent vertex is existing, but it is already visited. So when it is already visited, don't do anything with that. Simply ignore the vertex. So suppose if this statement is false, the meaning is you have selected a node on the top of the stack and it is not having any adjacent vertex. So in that case, you have to remove the node from the top of the stack. When you remove the node from the top of the stack, then you will continue with the node which is available on the new top of the stack. So this process will be repeated till your stack is not empty. When the stack becomes empty, it means that your searching is over. So this is how the DFS algorithm is going to work. Now let us see one example. Before that, we will see another step of the implementation. So first, we are going to do this with the help of recursive function. So you know what is a recursive function? A function which is going to call itself is known as recursive function. And whenever you implement the recursive functions, automatically it will be implemented only with the help of a stack. We have already seen that in case of recursion, whenever you call the function, the activation records will be pushed onto the stack. And when you come outside the recursive function, then you will be popping the activation record from the stack. You will go to the previous call. Okay. So to implement this stack concept, here we are using only the recursion. We are not going to use push and pop function explicitly. Instead, we'll be implementing the stack with the help of recursion. So now let us assume that I'm going to call the function DFS with a node V. The V can be anything, but first time when you call, the V is nothing but the source node from where you want to start your search. And in the other iterations or other steps, it will be passed with some other node which is not visited so far. So first I'm going to start with DFS from the main. So call will be coming here. What I will do is whenever I get a vertex, I'll be making the vertex as visited because I'll be coming to this step only if I know that the vertex is not visited. So I'll make the vertex as visited. Then I will be printing the vertex in the output. After I do that, I should not explore all the neighbors of this particular vertex. So what I will be doing is I have to check a vertex U which is adjacent to V. Then I have to do the following. If that particular vertex U is visited, just a minute guys, okay, so if the particular vertex is visited, then you will stop. Here, if visited of U is equal to 0, what is the meaning is that vertex is not visited. If a vertex is not visited, you're going to visit that vertex now. Okay, so at this stage, what we are doing is we have started with a particular node. We have not explored all the neighbors. Here, you are selecting a neighbor. You are now going to that particular neighbor without exploring this node V further. Okay, so we will come back to V after we finish this deeper level. Okay, so now the call will be started with DFS of the neighbor. So likewise, it will proceed. So this is how we are going to implement DFS with the help of a stack. Now let us consider the example. So this is a graph given to us. We have to find the DFS of this particular graph. So first they will give you the source node. If nothing is given to you, you can start with any node as a source node. Now let me assume that the source node is given as A. So I have to start my search only with A. So first I'm selecting the node A. Okay, so whenever I select the node A, I'm going to push it onto the stack. So first I'm pushing A on the stack. After that, I have to mark visited of A is equal to 1. Now you can see here visited is nothing but it is an 1D array and the size of the array is equal to number of nodes in your graph. Here I have nodes from A up to H. There are totally 8 nodes. So I am selecting an array visited with 8 entries. The first entry will be at the index 0, second will be at the index 1 and so on. And here first I am selecting A. I am pushing A onto the stack. Then I am marking visited of A is equal to 1. After that, what I have done is I have started with the node A. Next, I have to explore the neighbors of node A. So how to explore the neighbors of node A? If you consider this diagram, node A is having 3 neighbors. They are nothing but B, C and D. When we implement, we will be checking the adjacency matrix. Now, just for explanation, we are simply focusing on the graph itself. So we have 3 neighbors now, B, C and D. Next, you have to check out of these three neighbors, you have to select one neighbor which is not visited. So let me consider in the alphabetical order. So I am going to start with the neighbor B. I'll check first whether the neighbor B is visited or not. So I'll go to this visited visited array. In that, I will check the entry for B. Here entry for B is 0. That means B is not visited. So you have one neighbor which is not visited so far. So what is the meaning of visited is equal to 1 is you have visited the neighbor and visited that particular node and it is added at the output. This is our output. Okay, here we are going to draw our searching algorithm output. So if visited is equal to 0, it is not visited so far. So you can visit it now. So I am going to visit the node B. So what I will be doing now is I am going to push B onto the stack. Then I am going to mark visited of B is equal to 1. After that, I can add B in my output. When I add B, I have to add with proper link only. From A only, I am going to visit B. Therefore, there should be a connection between A and B. So now you have done with node B. Then what you're going to do, you're not going to continue with A. You have to stop A. You have to now continue with B. Okay. So for that, I'll be now taking the node which is available on the top of the stack. So on the top of the stack, I have node B. So now I will be taking only the neighbors of node B. Whichever is on the top of the stack, those nodes neighbor only are going to consider for the current search. So now on the top of the stack, I have node B. So I'll be considering the neighbors of the node B. So consider this particular diagram. For node B, we have two neighbors. One is A, another is E. Next, you have to check out of these neighbors, if any neighbor is not visited. Our aim is we need to check only the not visited neighbors. If it is visited, just ignore it. So there are two neighbors A and B. A is already visited because here it is 1. So it is already visited. So I should now go and check E. E is now not visited. It is 0. So what I can do now, I can push E onto the stack. So I'll be pushing E onto the stack. Then in the visited array, I'm going to write 1 for E because it is visited now. Then I will be adding E in the output. So now I'm reaching E only from B. So there will be a connection between B and E. So now you have to proceed with the stack only. So go to the stack, see what is on the top of the stack. On the top of the stack, I have the node E. So now currently I have to search with E. So go to this graph, check whichever vertex is adjacent to E. To E, I have two nodes which are adjacent, that is B and H. So first I'm checking with B. Let me check only in the alphabetical order. So I'm checking with B. B is already visited. So I will not continue with that. I'll go to the next neighbor, H. H is now unvisited because here I have 0. So what I will do now, I got one unvisited neighbor for E. So I'll be now pushing E onto the stack. Push E onto the stack. Make the entry for H as visited. Push H onto the stack. Make the entry for H as visited. After that, in your output, you draw H also. Give connection to E. From E only you are reaching H. Then on the top of the stack, you have the node H. So now you can proceed with H. Take H, check which are all the neighbors of H. To node H, you have two neighbors. One is, totally three neighbors are there. They are E, F and G. But E is already visited. Okay, you have one here. F is not visited so far. Okay, so what you can do next, you can go to F. So I am pushing F onto the stack. I am marking F as 1. Then I am drawing a line between F and H. I am adding F to the graph, to the output graph. So now I have done with F. So now I have to start with the top of the stack. On the top of the stack, I have F. So you check the neighbors of F. To F, I have two neighbors. One is C, another is H. Let me start in the alphabetical order. First, I'm coming to C. I'm checking whether C is visited. It is not visited. So what I can do, I can push now C onto the stack. So I am pushing C on the stack. Then I am marking C as visited. Then I am adding C on the output. So now I have done with C. Next, I have to check the top of the stack. On the top of the stack, I have C. So go and check the neighbors of C. For C, we have two neighbors, A and F. Now, if you check the visited array, A is visited. F is also visited. That means you cannot now proceed further with node C. It means that you have started from A, you have reached the final depth. Further, you cannot go down because you reach the last depth in that particular direction. So you have to now go back to the previous node. You have to check whether you can go from that particular node. So for that, now since I have done everything with C, I have to pop C from the stack. So far, we have only pushed the elements onto the stack. Now, you will know that from C, you cannot go to any other node further. You have reached the depth, so you have to now pop it. So pop the stack now. Once you pop the stack, C will be removed from the stack. Now you have on the top of the stack F. Now go and check the neighbors of F. So I am going to F. I am going to check the neighbors of F. F is having two neighbors, C and H. Now check whether they have been visited or not. C is visited and H is also visited. So both are visited. That means from F, you cannot proceed further because all the neighbors of F have been visited already. So what you have to do, pop F from the stack again. So I'm going to pop F. So once I pop F, I have H on the top of the stack. Now I have to check the neighbors of H. So check the neighbors of H. You have E, F and G. Check whether all have been visited or not. Go here, E is visited, then F is visited, but G is not visited. So what you can do, you have one neighbor of H which is not visited. So you can go and visit it. So what we have to do during the visiting, just push G on the stack, then add 1 for the visited, then go and add that node in your output. Since it is reachable from H, I am connecting G with H. So I have done now. My next step is I have to go and search the neighbors of G because whatever is on the top of the stack, for that only you are going to check. So on the top now I have G. Go and check the neighbors of G. For G, I have two neighbors, D and H. Let me check in the alphabetical order. First, I am checking D. So go and check D. D is not visited. So you can go and visit D. So for that, I am going to mark D as visited. Then I am going to push D on the stack. Then I'll be adding D as a neighbor of G because from G, I am visiting D. So whenever you mark this node as visited, you have to push it onto the stack. Immediately, you have to add at the output. 3 steps you have to follow. Then try to explore the neighbors of this top of the stack. So on the top of the stack, I have D. And D is connected to two nodes, A and G. And now I am checking this matrix, this array. Both A and G have been visited. So nothing to explore from D. So just remove D from the stack. I am popping D. Then what I have, G. Now go and check G. G is having two neighbors, D and H. They have been visited. So you simply pop G from the stack. So I popped it. Then on the top of the stack, you have H. Go and check H. H is having three neighbors. All three have been visited. So you can remove H from the stack. So remove it. Go and check on the top of the stack. You have E. E is having two neighbors, B and H. They have been already visited. So no need to explore further. So now remove E from the stack. Then go and check B. B is having two neighbors, E and A. Both have been already visited. So you can remove B from the stack. Then go and check A. A is having three neighbors. All three have been visited. So remove A also from the stack. So now my stack is empty. When your stack is empty, it means that whichever node is reachable from your source node, you have visited all the nodes. That means your algorithm is over. You can terminate your algorithm. So this is how the DFS is going to work. And if you see this stack in the previous step, you can consider here, A is the node first we started with, but that is the node explored last. Because whichever you are removing from the stack last is the node which is explored last. So we are starting with a node, we are checking only one neighbor. Once we get one neighbor, we will stop with this node, we will go and start with the neighbor. Okay, likewise we will go. And whenever you have a node at the last level, we will try to explore that node only first. Okay, and whichever you have started first, that will be explored last. Explored means you will be checking whether all the neighbors of that node have been visited. So in case of depth first search, we are going to explore the nodes in the reverse direction. Okay, that means whichever is started first, that will be explored last. For that only, since we want to implement first in last out or last in first out, we are going to use the stack for this DFS. And when you want to implement DFS, we have two different methods. As I already mentioned, we can implement by means of either adjacency matrix or by using adjacency list. In case of adjacency matrix, we'll be using a 2D array, and the rows of the array will be the vertices and the columns of the array will also be vertices. If you have n elements in your graph, the size of the matrix will be n cross n. And if you want to implement by means of adjacency list, then you can go for single linked list. It can be either array of linked list or otherwise array of pointers, where every pointer is going to point to one particular linked list. So we have two methods. Let us go for the first method in this class. We are going to implement by means of adjacency matrix. So we are going to implement our program for this particular graph. So when you start your program, first you have to find out the adjacency matrix representation for this. So I am taking with the undirected graph. You can even take directed graph. So first let me consider the undirected graph given here. Totally I have 5 vertices. So I am going to select a 2D matrix and the dimension of the matrix will be 5 cross 5. So here these are the rows and these are the columns. I have listed different colors for this, and whichever is in the blue color, that is the element of the matrix, which is going to tell you whether a node is adjacent or not. So in case of adjacency matrix, the elements of the matrix will be either 0 or 1. 0 is going to tell you that that particular node or vertex is not adjacent. If it is 1, it means that vertex is adjacent. So first let us start with node 0. Node 0 is having 3 neighbors, that is 1, 2 and 3. So under 1, 2 and 3 you fill 1. In all the remaining you fill 0. And if you go to node 1, it is having 2 neighbors, 0 and 4. So far take the first row, that is row with the index 1, because we are considering the node 1. Then in that for 0 and then for 4 you fill 1, for the remaining you fill 0. Likewise, you have to construct the adjacency matrix. This matrix should be fed as input to our algorithm. So when you start with a particular graph, first you find out the adjacency matrix for this particular graph. Now let us see our program. Once you construct the adjacency matrix, that you have to give as the input to the program. So first I am including the header file. After that, I am going to declare now an array, that is a 2D array for storing the adjacency matrix, that is A. A is representing the adjacency matrix. I am going to keep the dimension of the array as 10 cross 10. That means that in my program, I can give maximum of 10 nodes. If you want to increase the number of nodes, increase the dimension here also. And then I'm going to keep track of visited. It is a 1D array. In that, if the value is 1, it means that the node is visited. If it is 0, it means the node is not yet visited. And for every node, we are going to keep 1 entry. So here, see the adjacency matrix. You have given here 10. That means maximum you will have 10 number of nodes. So in visited also, you keep the same number 10. Don't waste any memory. So in visited, I am giving 10. So that means that for 10 nodes, I am going to tell whether they have been visited or not. And then I am going to have one global variable n, which is going to tell me how many number of vertices I will have in my graph. So all these 3 are declared as global variable. So when you declare anything as global variable, you can use them in all the functions. No need to pass them as arguments. Now, let us first go to the main function, then we will come to DFS. In main function, first you are going to get the number of vertices from the user, store it in the variable n. This n is already declared as a global variable. After that, you have to get the adjacency matrix of the graph, because you have to now store your graph in the memory of the computer. For that only, we have seen different methods of representation. So I am going to use now adjacency matrix representation. So you have to store the adjacency matrix. It is a 2D matrix. So you get the cells of the 2D matrix from the user by using 2 for loops. Since it is a 2D matrix, I am going to use two for loops. So outer for loop is for number of rows and inner for loop is for number of columns. So I have n number of rows and n number of columns. So I'm starting with for I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. And since we are getting the elements of the array here, don't start with 1. You have to start with 0 only, because in C programming, our array index starts with 0. Then inner for loop is for column. So for j is equal to 0, j less than n, j plus plus. So what you're going to do inside the for loop, just get the adjacency matrix from the user. So by means of scanf with %t, I am reading the values of each entry of the adjacency matrix. So I can access each entry by a of ij. So in ith row, in jth column, whatever is the cell, for that cell, you are going to read a value. So you will be repeating this n squared number of times. If you have n vertices, you have to type totally n squared value for the adjacency matrix. Either you will type 0 or otherwise you will type 1. So after this line number 25 is over, you will have the adjacency matrix stored in the 2D array A. After that, you have to initialize the visited array to 0, because when you are starting your algorithm, all the nodes will be unvisited. Whenever you visit, you will make that to 1. So there are totally n entries in the visited array. So you make all the n entries as 0. For that, I am going to write one for loop because it is a one-dimensional array. So for I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, I am going to make visited I is equal to 0. So now what we have done, we got totally how many vertices are there from the user. We created the adjacency matrix and we created the visited array and initialized that with 0. Next step is we have to start our algorithm. So for that, you have to get which is the source vertex from the user, because you can start with any vertex, not like in trees. In trees, we will always start with the root node, but here you can start with any vertex. So you get the source vertex from the user and store it in the variable called source. So declare that variable here. Once you get the source node, now you are going to call the function for doing the DFS traversal. So you call the function DFS. To this function, you have to pass the current node you are going to start as an argument. Now I am going to call the function with this source node. So I am passing source as the argument to the DFS function. Now let us go to the DFS function. In case of DS function, remember it is a recursive function because we have to implement this with the help of a stack only. So we are doing with the help of recursion. We are calling the stack with the help of recursion, not directly calling by push and pop. So we are calling indirectly with the help of recursion. So in DFS, I have to pass one vertex as the argument. It means that I am going to search with respect to that particular vertex. So what you have to do in DFS, first, you have to print that vertex. We have seen 3 steps in DFS totally. First, we have seen that in the visited, we will be making the entry as 1. After that, we will be pushing it onto the stack. Then we will be printing it in the output. Here, pushing onto the stack will be taken care by this function call, DFS function call, recursive function call, automatically. You will not push it. And remaining 2 things you have to do. So you print the vertex first. So I am printing the vertex V because I have visited this vertex now. Then I have to go to the visited array. I have to mark this as 1 because previously it is unvisited. Now I have visited it. So write visited of V is equal to 1. Then what you have to do, once you visit a particular node, you have to check the neighbors of that node. You have to pick one neighbor which is not visited. So I told that you search in the alphabetical order. If you have ABCD, you will search in the alphabetical order. Here we have numbers. So we will search in the ascending order. So I am going to search for all the neighbors. So here U is going to be my neighbor. V is the node I am considering and U is the neighbor. So I am going to start with all the neighbors in the alphabetical order. So I am writing U is equal to 0, U less than N because totally N nodes are there, but I don't know which is neighbor. So I'm searching for all the N nodes. So U is less than N, U plus plus. So what you have to do, this loop is for checking all the nodes in your graph. So what is your aim now? You are taking a node, you are checking whether it is a neighbor first. Then you have to check whether that neighbor is not visited. 2 things you have to check. It should be your neighbor, and if it is your neighbor, it should not be visited. Then only you will start with that particular node. So the first is First, I am checking whether it is a neighbor. You can check the second condition. I'm checking here whether it is my neighbor. How to check whether it is neighbor? I am searching with respect to node V. Then I am searching whether U is the neighbor of V. So you have to search in the row of V and in the column of U in the adjacency matrix. Okay, so A of VU is nothing but then we are checking whether U is a neighbor of V. If it is a neighbor of V, A of UV will be equal to 1. U. If that value is equal to 1 in the adjacency matrix, it means that V is having the neighbor as U. So in that case, you got one neighbor. You have to now check whether that neighbor is visited or not. So I am checking whether visited of U is equal to 0. It means that I got a neighbor and the neighbor is not visited so far. So what I can do now? You can go and visit that neighbor and continue with that neighbor. So temporarily, you are stopping the exploration of view V and you are going to the node U. Okay, because U is a neighbor and it is unvisited. So call the DFS function again. Now you call with U. And this will be again coming back to this DFS, but now instead of V, you will have node U. Then you will mark, you will print that node U, you will make that as visited, then you will check the neighbors of that particular node. So this process will be continued, and once you finish all the nodes in your graph and the stack, it will be terminated. So this is how the DFS function is going to work. Now, when you run this function, when you run this program, first it will ask you enter the number of vertices. You can give any number of vertices. Here we set the number maximum as 10. You can give any. So I'm giving the number of vertices as 5. After that, you have to type the adjacency matrix. So before you start, you construct the adjacency matrix and keep it in a paper. Then you have to type the adjacency matrix row by row. So here, this is the first row. Then I am typing all the totally 5 rows are there. I am typing all the 5 rows. After that, you have to type which is your source vertex because you are going to start from there only. You will do the exploration. So I am typing the source vertex as 0. Since we are implementing in C program, you will be, if you type the number of vertices as 5, you will be getting your outputs from 0 to 4 only. Okay, so you can give any number from 0 to n minus 1. So I am giving 0 as a source vertex. So now it is giving me the output. So what is the meaning of this output is the node 0 is visited first. After that, the node 1 is visited, then node 4 is visited, and so on. It will simply display in which order the nodes have been visited. You will not get which is the neighbor of which from this particular output. You will know in which order the nodes have been visited. So with this, I'm stopping today's class.